Here's what's coming up next on the Holo Movement Purpose Lab.
Hi, my name is Zenka Caro. I'm founder of LightNet, and my passion is to make the impossible possible. I'm here today with Rocky Trainer. Now, this is one of my all-time favorite interviews. Why? Because Rocky has an incredible amount of heart and soul and curiosity. She's a good example of someone that has had a ton of careers and multiple jobs at the same time. And she's also an example of someone that really brings her essence in everything she does. She started early on from behind the scenes of the American Ballet Theater as a small child in New York City and really loving choreography and dancing. She studied with Martha Graham in New York City, which is very prestigious. And she had a 4.5 octave voice. So she eventually started a singing telegram company. She's done so many things. Now she is the manager for Mark Anthony. She has a wine broker business. She also does precious metal refinement, all of these things. But one of the things that I absolutely loved about this interview was where she talks about how doing a simple act of kindness can change the world. And we're all capable of that, right?
We were in the middle of a desert, somewhere out near Sedona, and we needed some supplies. So on the GPS, it brought us to off the road, and all we saw was cactus and sand. It was 118 degrees, and here's this lone little grocery store. There are about 3 cars out in the parking lot. We go in, we get our water, we get things to hydrate, we get sunscreen, some sustenance, and we're heading out the door, and there's this elderly man struggling to lift a carton of milk and a loaf of bread going out to his car. And as he was going out to his car, before he did, we smiled at him. And he looked up at us, and it was like he was in this really terrible place. And all of a sudden, he lifted, and all of a sudden, you see this youth in his eyes of joy and smiled at us. And it was like, oh, we might have been the first person that smiled at him in a long time. And we walked him to his car and helped him put the things in the car, and he drove away. Well, we were out actually doing some research in the area, and we knew of the store and went back. Sure enough, that man was there. And we said to the girl at the counter, we said, that man was here yesterday. She goes, yeah, he comes in every day, maybe 2-3 times a day to get 1 and 2 items. I don't see why he doesn't even buy something and just bring it all home. And Mark, being the great intuitive and psychic, Mark said he's lost someone. There's no one he talks to all day long. This is his only form of communication. So when he saw us, he lit up again, and we walked with him, and we found out he had lost his lifelong partner of 60, 70 years. I think it was like 68 years. And she died, and now he's all alone. And they lived out in the desert. So he was making this trip just to have human contact. And because obviously he was on a fixed income, could not move, could not make those decisions to make great changes. The changes that were happening to him were hurt, grief, loneliness. And so it was like bright hope. Mark ran back in the store and told that girl, smile at him, say hello, ask him how his day is going. You're the only person, and whoever is in this store are his only contact with human beings. From that moment on, anytime I'm in a grocery store or in public and I see an elderly person, or I see someone who is struggling with a challenge of their physical being, I make sure I make eye contact. I say hello. How you doing today? Hi. Oh my gosh. From that sad face, all of a sudden the light comes through them and you see the child in their eyes. That's a little bit of good. And I'm not patting myself on the back. I'm just saying, do this, people. Look into someone's eyes and smile at them. Say hello. especially elderly people who are alone and probably live the most interesting life, but can't share it with anyone because there's no one there that they know anymore.
For more, watch the full episode, which will be aired on Monday. Or you can find this story on our podcast, Awaken Your Purpose. To find your passion and purpose, join us at hollowmovement.net/purpose.